Apple is currently working on a brand new wearable smart ring product that'll bring on a bunch of new and great features, including sleep tracking that doesn't rely on wearing an uncomfortable Apple Watch in bed, as well as a week's worth of battery life, and I have a feeling this new smart ring just might put Oura Ring out of business. Now, if you don't believe me, I'm gonna prove it in this video by showing you dozens of Apple patents that prove they're actively working on this new ring product, and let me tell you, it's gonna be better than anything Oura could ever make. But before we get into those patents, I wanna give you guys my experience with this smart ring from RingCon that I've been using for over a month straight. This thing has been amazing because it tracks my sleep, activity, and stress levels with great accuracy, especially all of my sleep stages at night, like deep sleep, which I love looking at. However, there are 4 problems with it. Number 1 is that it doesn't connect with my iPhone and health data like Apple does, so it doesn't close my rings. Number 2 is that it feels pretty cheap despite costing $279 with visible scratches on the finish after just 1 month. Number 3 is that sometimes it spins without me noticing, so the sensors aren't properly aligned and they stop tracking completely. And number 4 is that I have no idea who has access to my precious private health data. Now, Apple is going to solve all of those issues and more, creating a high quality ring with better materials, allowing them to even offer real gold coatings at a higher price to make more profit. They'll also make sure that my data is fully encrypted like the Apple Watch already does. And by the way, this ring will also be used as an accessory device to your Apple Watch for things like sleep tracking and much more. I personally think tons of people are gonna buy them because they're gonna come in at a lower price than the Apple Watch does. And yes, I believe it'll fully connect with your Apple devices and close all of your rings, including being able to interact with your other Apple devices, as well as possibly even including a digital display and more. Apple literally has the perfect opportunity to enter the smart ring market, which is growing rapidly, and basically get every iPhone user interested in wearing one to take advantage of all of the features like actively tracking blood oxygen levels, stress levels, sleep, and much more. And now let's go ahead and get into the patents. But first, I want to show you guys this from our sponsor, Apollo. It's a wearable unlike any other because it actively improves your health by strengthening your nervous system by sending soothing and gentle waves of vibrations called Apollo vibes, which are like music you can feel, reducing stress and helping you relax during the day and get more restful sleep at night. You can wear it with a band on either your wrist or your leg, and even on your chest or your hip by using the clip, and then you can choose from a wide variety of vibes, including a power nap that'll help you soothe into your nap and then wake you up on time. It was created by neuroscientists and physicians and tested in real-world trials, leading to huge benefits like an increase of up to 19% more deep sleep on average. So order your Apollo wearable today using the link below to start improving your HRV, your sleep, your stress levels, and much more. And now let's get into those Apple patents, starting with this one that basically shows a hint at Apple's new smart ring that they are going to start making sometime in the near future. But first, the most important thing to realize is that Apple almost always shrouds the true intended meaning for their patents behind something else without revealing what it's actually meant for. For example, Apple once filed this patent right here, showing off a virtual keyboard and multi-touch surface using a camera to watch your hands. Specifically, if you go down, you can see that it was meant to be used with a MacBook or iMac and their cameras. However, we now know that the true intended purpose for this patent was actually for the brand new virtual keyboard while using Apple's Vision Pro headset. They also applied for this patent in 2022 for virtual group FaceTime, basically showing off a wall-mounted TV with cameras all around the edge to capture your facial expressions and eye gaze. But once again, it turned out to be that this patent was meant for the Vision Pro headset with interior mounted cameras to make group FaceTime work with a virtual avatar of yourself. So with that in mind, let's jump into the Apple Smart Ring patents, starting with this one. Apple invents a smart ring that could sense a user's health conditions such as heart rate, blood oxygen, blood pressure, and more. Now, right now, my Ringcon Smart Ring does the blood oxygen very, very well and accurately. It does heart rate, but it doesn't do blood pressure. So I wonder how Apple is gonna take care of that. But here it is, Apple's patent for a smart ring with basically a bunch of images showing how you're gonna be using your wearable ring device while using your iPhone with a bunch of different sensors. And then moving on, we have a patent that's actually shrouded as something else. You can see that Apple invented a smart metal and fabric health and communications band for the Apple Watch and a future mixed reality headset. However, I think this is literally just their smart ring with a bunch of built-in sensors because there's no Apple Watch here. It's literally just a ring with tons and tons of different sensors, which if you've looked on the inside of one of the Aura or Ringcon smart rings, there's a whole lineup of sensors on the inside. So I believe that is what this is, because even though they say it's fabric material, you can see they have one point that says wherein the housing is a metal housing. Basically, a smart ring. Moving on, we have this patent right here that shows a new smart ring device from Apple that can control a bunch of different devices, including MacBooks, iPhones, Apple TV, AirPods, and head-mounted displays, which sounds very interesting. However, you could see that there's actually a scroll wheel with two different rings. There's an inner ring and an outer ring. So the outer ring will actually be able to move around and scroll, which probably shows that you can adjust different things within your UI of other devices, like your volume, by spinning it around. Here's another patent right here showing the same thing with an electronic jewel system and a rotating outer band and stationary inner band with contact pads, band mechanism, everything built in. And here you can see it's showing it rotating just like that, which could probably adjust different devices. Just look at all of these patent images. Now this patent right here is gonna be the one that will solve the issue of rings rotating around and losing contact with the sensors, because only the outside will move. So if you're in bed moving around, the inside will stay stationary, so no issues with that at all. And that's the most annoying thing with this ring. But now getting even weirder, we have a patent from Apple showing off a smart ring that's meant to be a controller for a mixed reality headset, which doesn't really make sense because right now, Apple has already revealed the Vision Pro, and we know that you don't need any controllers, no iPhones, no rings, nothing, you just use your hands. So why is this being related to the mixed reality headset? Well, it could be shrouded as an excuse to get these smart ring patents out the door. And once again right here, we have another patent of a smart ring connecting and controlling a VR headset. So what if in the future there's gonna be a better VR headset that's gonna work with these rings for some type of input control? Even though Apple doesn't need it, I'm not exactly sure. Here you could see that you could actually snap your fingers and it can detect that snap. So for example, you could be doing some sort of gestures with the ring and it can control different devices. And we see the same thing here. Look at all these gestures that can be detected by the smart ring, even wearing multiple of them. And here you can see there's different electrodes, different inputs, all right here, including tapping on the ring itself for touch input. We see the same thing in this patent showing a ring being on your device and an Apple head-mounted device basically having tracking of your hand with that ring. Maybe it works better because of the ring, I'm not sure, showing all of these different locations that you can wear it. There's even this patent that shows that the smart ring will be able to detect sub-micron movements with really, really good sensor detection, which I don't know what that can be used for, but Apple can definitely use it for some sort of health tracking. And here we have another smart ring patent showing 2 rings being worn on the hand with a bunch of SMI sensors, probably for more gestures or something else like that. And then this is perhaps the most interesting one out of all. We have these mini flexible edge displays with repurposing active virtual buttons that's shown on the side of the iPhone. However, I believe that Apple would rather take this flexible display and stick it on the smart ring itself to basically see new notifications or whatever else popping up. And with all the touch sensitivity, you can even control it using your finger. And then here was a really weird patent showing a bed and a new Apple sleep tracking device to measure all of your sleep stages. Well, I believe that this in-bed device is actually not something you put into your bed, but something you wear on your ring. You're gonna be wearing a ring with 5 to 7 day battery life, and it's going to basically send the information to your iPhone, tracking all of your different sleep stages. But basically, with all of that said, I think we have enough evidence that Apple is working on a smart ring, and by far the most practical application for all these patents is to literally just create an Oura Ring competitor, because if anyone's gonna buy a smart ring, it's gonna be from the company Apple. Apple's gonna do a killer job making it thinner than the rest of the competition with better battery life, better privacy, data security and encryption, and better materials. Apple is gonna sell tons of these things. And in terms of the pricing, I think they could price it probably between $300 to $400, maybe even more if you want like a real gold material finish on it, but they're gonna sell like hotcakes. And to me, I love the sleep tracking because my Apple Watch, I plug it in to charge at night. I don't want to be rolling around in bed with my Apple Watch. It's just so annoying. So sleep tracking right now is kind of crappy with Apple devices, but an Apple Smart Ring would fix that for good. And they could even take it a step further with the little stress level detection and monitoring, and then integrating that with a new mental health report that it does for you, showing off when you're stressful or when you need to de-stress. Apple can implement all of those software features with a smart ring. So I think that's what they're gonna do. Now, I don't know when it's gonna come out, but they are working on it for sure. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know your comments down in the comment section below. Definitely watch one of those 2 videos right there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.